Wednesday, February 25th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. A lot to talk about with an incoming winter storm here across the region. Let me begin with a look back at the numbers from yesterday. And of course, we had a pretty good little snow event in really a number of areas rather across the region yesterday. That system definitely overperformed. I will say flat out that system produced more snow than I anticipated that it would in a good chunk of the region. Now, it was not a huge crippling snowstorm, but it was enough to put an inch or so on the ground, locally more in many spots, and caused a lot of road issues for a period of time yesterday morning. But now we focus on the incoming winter storm. There's your temperatures during the 6 o'clock hour this morning, cutting the video a little bit later than normal. And you see we have temperatures, the 20s, the I-40 corridor, just below freezing, Charlotte and Fayetteville, down to Greenville, Spartanburg, mid-30s in Columbia, Myrtle Beach, and Charleston. Now, there's the warning situation. You have winter storm warnings in effect for really all the Piedmont of North Carolina down into the upstate and northern sections of South Carolina. And if you were to follow this on down, you see winter storm warnings extend all the way back to northeast Texas with this winter storm. The radar quiet across the Carolinas currently, but again, there's the beginnings of this system producing a lot of wintry precip in northeast Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, southeastern Oklahoma, and that's all with this developing area of low pressure off the Texas coast, and that's going to wind up taking a track that looks something like that, thereabouts, as we go through today and tonight. All right, so as we go through time, again, this is going to be a pretty good Tennessee Valley snow event there through North Mississippi and North Alabama into North Georgia, Southern Tennessee, and then on up into the Carolinas this evening and tonight. This is the overall evolution of this system. You can see that shield of precipitation rolling through the region. And this is going to be one of those deals where there's going to be a pretty tight gradient here between the rain and the snow areas, and that means there's going to be a really tight gradient in some of our snow totals across this region as this system moves through. Let me show you the European footprint of snow with this system. You get the general idea. The GFS with the 6C run, pretty similar. All right. And I'll show you the high resolution modeling in just a second, but here's the general idea I'm going with accumulation amounts. Now, of course, I have focused more on the Carolinas. I will say it's a very challenging forecast here across the I-20 corridor for Birmingham and Atlanta, and certainly as you get into the Carolinas, it's very, very tricky, especially I think in this corridor right there. And it's going to be a tricky proposition there because some of the modeling wants to kick this area over to some rain, but it's close. But that's the overall idea I'm going with. Interstate 85 corridor, give or take, let's say from there and on north of Interstate 85 for a period of a distance there. That's probably your corridor of heaviest snow. Could very well be some banding and some heavy snow rates for a period of time in that area. And so that's what I'm going with now. These numbers could have to be adjusted as we get through the day today, but that's the thinking as of now. So on to the higher resolution modeling. This is the 0Z run of the GFS. Focusing in here on the Carolinas, you can see that shield of precip arriving by this evening. And again, you see there's a tight rain-snow line there, and it's going to be that's going to be a really, really tricky forecast. Exactly where that rain-snow line sets up is, is the old adage here that if you want to see the heaviest snow totals, and this is the case with this system, if you want the heaviest area of snow, you have to be close enough to the rain to smell it. And so that area that's just north of the rain-snow line, that's where you're going to pick up the most significant snow totals. And that means a little bit south of there, rain. It's going to be an issue. So, but it's going to be tough. All right, this is the 0Z run of the GFS and the total liquid equivalent precipitation amounts. And there's the snowfall map from the 0Z run of the GFS. All right, this is the high resolution NAM modeling from the 6Z run. Valid 10 o'clock tonight, this evening, and you see you see those mixing issues there right on the southern fringe of the heavy snow before it kicks over to all rain south of there. It's going to be tricky. Now, I think these numbers, this is the high resolution NAM snow totals. I think this is overdone by and large, especially in this area, due to this. This is the issue. These are 850 millibar temperatures, and you see this area of slightly above 850 millibar temperatures moving up into the eastern side of the Charlotte metro and then up towards southern sections of the Raleigh metro area. And that's going to be a really, really challenging deal to try to figure out exactly where those areas will set up. Let me show you the regional Canadian, which frankly the regional Canadian a lot of times does pretty good with winter storms around here, and that's its footprint of snow. And I just wanted to show you the HPC probabilities, or the WPC probabilities. That's the probability of 2 inches of snow, looking very good through southern Arkansas, through the Tennessee Valley, and up into the I-85 corridor. There's your probabilities of 6 inches of snow, and those are actually some decently high probabilities in some of those same areas. This was a run from about an hour or so ago of the high-resolution rapid refresh model, and boy, that's a juicy-looking system. Healthy amounts of precipitation. Now let's go to the 6C GFS that just rolled in. And there you go. Again, you notice the eastern side of the Charlotte Metro up toward Raleigh. That's where you might see, depending on precipitation rates, this might try to kick over to a period of rain instead of all snow. But it could very well be the rates are enough to keep it at what we call an isothermal layer, where you end up with temperatures throughout the column very close to freezing, and it stays snow. Really tricky. So this is certainly a really challenging forecast, and then this is daybreak tomorrow on the 6C run of the GFS, and there the system goes. Now this is the latest run, the 6C GFS snow accumulation map. I think that looks pretty decent, really, overall. And again, I refer back earlier in the video to my snow map that I showed you, and we'll adjust that as necessary. But the bottom line is, for a good chunk of North Carolina, upstate of South Carolina, northern South Carolina, back through the Tennessee Valley, this is a significant snow event. Travel is going to become quite difficult in many spots as we get into tonight and tomorrow morning. It's going to be one of those deals where for much of the region, everything is going to kind of be shut down due to that significant accumulation of snow. And we'll just have to refine exactly the areas that pick up the heaviest snow totals. All right, that is it for today's edition of the video. Everybody have a wonderful day. Enjoy the snow if you do indeed get it, and God bless.